Kia are bringing out a literal onslaught of new electric cars, the EV3. Of course, they've got the new EV5, the EV4. They've got the EV9 already. They've got the EV6. They've got heaps of models. But we've just seen the new Kia EV2. It'll be the smallest EV that Kia make. Here are the details that we know so far on this new EV, which is meant to be coming out next year in markets all around the world. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. If you want to see some new electric cars, come to the Melbourne EV show. I'll be there. Would love to see you there. 25% discount on your tickets. Click the link in the description below. Hey guys, I've got an EcoFlow Delta 2 right here and the Delta Pro, which is about 4 times bigger than this. I've used them over the past 2 months many times. I didn't think I would, but I've needed them. There's been electrical problems in the house. There's been massive storms here in Australia. They've been absolutely, for me, game-changing, life-saving. Up to 45% off sale. I'll put a link in the description, and I think that's on for the next 3 weeks. So click on that link. You can take advantage and get one of these batteries for a really good price. Kia's EV2. Like the EV3, it will have 400 volt charging platform because it's cheaper, right? And Kia is probably going to get, from what I'm hearing, Chinese manufacturers, a joint venture partnership company to build their cars for them in China. Now, there will be, I believe, a European model as well and an American model as well from what I'm hearing. But anyway, this EV2 will be the size of something like the Renault 4, the Citroën EC3, and the Fiat Grand Panda. So it's going to be a similar price in that sort of price range. Maybe sort of think Volvo EX30. That would kind of sum it up pretty well. So the Kia EV2 slots below the new Kia EV3. It replicates most of its features just on a more small scale, right? As I mentioned before, 400 volt charging technology, and that will mean the charging speed won't be at the level of Kia's other, the EV6 or the EV9. It won't have 350 kilowatt charging, probably closer to 200 kilowatt. Now, front wheel drive apparently it's going to come with, and it'll have a smaller electric battery. Driving range will be 200 miles, 320 kilometers. It's similar to the Renault 4, but to give you some comparison, the Kia EV3 has a 58 kilowatt hour battery and an 81.4 kilowatt hour battery, but this will be a bit smaller. So it's likely to have a battery pack around 50 kilowatt hours in size. Kia hasn't said a lot about technical specs. Apparently, it's going to be unveiled on the Kia EV Day in Barcelona. Apparently, Kia hasn't said much about the EV specs, but it was unveiled on the Kia EV Day in Barcelona back in February. So this gives you an idea. What else do we know? Well, apparently it's going on sale in Europe in 2026 and the rest of the world probably late 2026, potentially. Now, apparently there's also an even smaller Kia coming called the EV1 that will replace the Kia Picanto and compete with the Volkswagen ID.1. So that'll be Kia's cheapest electric car. You're looking around $20,000 apparently for the Kia EV1. The EV2, the price, I'm not so sure, but I think it looks pretty cool. I think it looks like it could be quite a popular little car and get electric cars into more homes. So let's hope so. What are your thoughts on the looks of it? Do you agree with me? Do you think it looks good? Let us know in the comments, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye. Well, my friends, 2024 was a pretty good year for Kia. At least it was in the United States. In the United States, Kia's EV sales increased by more than 70% for the entire year. And it really came down to the performance of one car. One car Americans kept saying, we want this kind of car. We want this kind of car for this price. And Kia was probably really the only manufacturer that said, okay, well, here it is. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. Now, I could have bought the Kia EV9 here in Australia, but I didn't because I think it's too expensive. Here in Australia, it costs the cheapest version, which is not the version I would have wanted. It starts at $100,000. That means you've got to pay luxury taxes. The the vehicle that I did buy, the Xpeng G6, costs $60,000. and there's no luxury tax at that price. So here in Australia, the Kia EV9 isn't selling so well, but in America, it's sold incredibly, incredibly well for good reason. It's a good vehicle. Last year, the Korean manufacturer sold a record number of vehicles globally for the second year in a row. And to be fair, Kia do have some of the best EVs you can buy. Well, particularly one anyway. Kia moved with 3.1 million units worldwide. So Kia sales didn't increase by much, only by 0.1%. But the difference between 2023 and 2024, surprisingly, was only 2,073 vehicles. Now, the truth is that could have been just vehicles that Kia registered but didn't actually sell. We don't know if they sold any more vehicles in 2024 than 2023, but they sold a lot more electric cars, that's for sure. In the US, Kia had its 7th successive year in a row of record sales. So Kia's doing really well. LeBron James, obviously, been a bit of a mouthpiece for Kia. That's worked out well for them, surprisingly. They sold 796,500 cars in the US last year. That's an increase of about 2%, 14,000 more vehicles in 2024 than 2023. So, I mean, whilst Kia obviously has had almost no success in China, which is the world's biggest car market, it's done very, very well in the United States. Now, unfortunately, Kia puts the Kia Niro in combustion with combustion sales, so we don't know how many electric cars Kia really sold because Kia didn't tell us how many Kia Niro EVs they sold. But we know if you could put the Kia EV6 and the EV9 together, that they sold record numbers of at least those models anyway. EV sales for Kia were up 74% versus 2023. They sold 22,000 units in 2024, which was a big improvement. And in fact, if you look at 2023, they actually only sold 1,118 Kia EV9s. So EV9 sales in 2024 were pretty spectacular. Kia sold 21,715 EV6s. So they sold more EV9s than EV6s. And they're both good cars, but to be fair, the EV6 is a bit of an odd looking car. My personal choice, if I was going to choose between an EV6 or a Hyundai Ioniq 5, which are very, very similar, basically same platform, same batteries, I'd be choosing the Ioniq 5. So I'm not really sure why so many people bought the EV6 instead of the Ioniq 5. Guys, what do you think? Which one would you choose? Let me know in the comments. Which one do you prefer, the EV6 or the Ioniq 5? What that means though is there was 15% growth in Kia EV6 sales versus 2023. So not a lot of growth in EV6 sales, to be fair. All the growth came from the EV9. And you can see that Kia's growth in vehicle sales in the United States was really tied to its growth in EV sales.